What's your age?
Do I have to say that? I'm 36.
Are you single?
No.
You have a man.
Yes.
How long have you been with him?
5 years.
At 5 years in, has your man proposed to you yet?
Oh, God. No.
Why do you think he hasn't got down on his knee?
Well, this is a little personal, you don't think? One, I would say past relationship traumas. Two, I would say maybe things I might have said that make him kind of like question, is she gonna walk away and, stuff like that. Because, sometimes when we get angry, we say certain things and we plant seeds in a way. That's what I'm saying. But honestly, it shouldn't be no reason.
What if he came to you and he said, you know what, I'll never propose. Would you stay?
Yes.
So what would make you even open to doing that?
I love him.
So the marriage doesn't really mean a thing?
No, it's just a piece of paper. I feel like we built a lot more together. So for me to just let him go because I don't have a ring on my finger, that would be crazy. I'm not saying that he won't eventually do it or it's not a possibility for it. It's going to happen. But if it don't ever happen, no, I'm not leaving.
Well, without that ring, she's putting it all on him. But without that ring, she got a little bit of leeway to do whatever she's doing too. I can talk slick. I can, wear a little something. I can go out here and I can do a little bit of this because, we ain't married. I ain't going to push the envelope. If it comes, it comes. But I got a little bit I'm doing on the side too.
He beat my brother to death.
Your father beat his son, your brother, to death.
Yes. I'm looking you straight in the face and saying yes.
Like,
to a point where this guy couldn't walk anymore. He was considered a vegetable.
Your brother.
Yes, my 32-year-old brother. He was considered a vegetable at that point. He was beaten so bad. He was getting disability and government checks for a living. He couldn't work. He couldn't go out of his room. I mean, he passed away from he couldn't walk. His legs were broken. His back was broken. My mom's neck was broken. Every day she would tell us kids like, oh, my neck could crack any day and I could go. Like, she would just tell us that all the time.
why are you guys laughing? What the
I don't mind anyone laughing.
They're probably laughing because she looks like a psychopath telling it to you. I mean, the look on her face, the look in her eyes. I ain't condoning them laughing. I'm just saying, just her demeanor, man. She looked crazy.
I pop my balloon because you are very attractive. But this sounds very weird. And don't judge because you're giving it already. I like my man a little, like a splash of ugly. I
don't think that she means ugly. What she means is like rough around the edges. Women equate dirty to ugly. So what she really wants, this guy looks a little bit too polished. So she's thinking that he doesn't use his hands. He doesn't work outside. He's just like a pretty boy, like a Chad. She's thinking because he's like taking a bath and then grooming himself, just basic hygiene, that he must not be able to perform hard work. He must not be a man's man. But, well, at least that's the way that I think she's going with this.
I think you're like a really pretty boy, which is good, but it's just not my type. That's it. That's a compliment, though. Like, you look really good, but I like my man a little more grungy, maybe. Grungy. Very polished.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can already see the look on Arlette's face right there. They just, once again, stop talking. Stop talking.
Any God who will lead me through my husband, I don't follow. Yeah, there are parts of the Bible I disagree with to the core. I do not see my husband as leader. He's a man who poops and pees, if he exists even. There is no leader in the marriage. Once there is a leader in something, there is no equality. And there is no, and they would, and mind you, they would twist doctrines. They would twist it, they would twist it, turn it, twist it, so that you don't feel unequal to a man, but you are. Once there is a leader, there is no longer equality. And you see that aspect of Christian marriage, I reject it. In fact, I reject the hierarchy in a Christian marriage. There is no hierarchy because there's no man above me. Well, except God. That my husband is my equal. We stand beside each other as equals in every sense, even in a spiritual sense. He will never have authority over me. Listen, I don't expect my husband to lead me because I myself am a complete, competent human being. I have a calling, I have thoughts, I have processes. He can lead his life, but he's not leading anybody. He's not leading me. He can influence our children because, even me, we will both as parents influence our children to be good people. But that is as far as his influence goes. Once it comes to me, there is no influence here. I stand as an independent being, and my autonomy will not be stolen from me in the form of submission.
So you're cherry picking, which is what a lot of modern women are doing. Oh, I don't like this law. I don't like this guideline in marriage, but I do like this one, so we're going to follow this one. Oh, I don't like this verse in the Bible, but I do like this one, and that's what we're going to follow that one. Modern women, man, just shut up. Stop talking, man. Just be quiet.
The greatest power couple combination is where one person in the marriage has like a stable, high income job. Other person is just devoted to doing side quests to build generational wealth. My husband has a boring, stable job in tech, but I, on the other hand, have a real estate license. I have multiple businesses. I have a social media presence. One of my favorite side quests from this year was devoting so much time to reducing our taxable income and getting our tax bill basically wiped out. That took a lot of creativity on my end and from my CPA. I think this is the smartest way you can start building wealth because there has to be income coming in to support your lifestyle and support your investments. But the person who's busy working the job, they're probably too busy and just don't have the bandwidth to take on the full responsibility of all the investments. So I like to call myself a wealth multiplier because my husband brings in the income and I take his income and I multiply it into generational wealth. And I do that with my holy trinity, real estate, startups, and stocks. Being a stay-at-home wife was incredibly boring, and I'm college educated. I speak multiple languages, I love learning, and I just need to be challenged on a daily basis. And so that's why being a wealth multiplier works so well for me, because my husband's money is my money and my money is also my money, and I get to use that to buy any kind of investment that I think is going to be a great fit for not just our financial profile, but also the lifestyle factor. If you like all things wealth building, I'm your girl.
I don't even know why she said this. This doesn't sound as good as she thinks it does. Do you think you just let us know what you think about what your husband is doing? I'm telling you, even when they trying to compliment, they're still talking crazy. And I don't get that. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I hear stuff like this. It makes me think just because y'all aren't interested in what a man is doing in his job, you think it's boring. Maybe she's just making the point, well, you let him go work the boring, stable job. Maybe she means stable. Maybe she's trying to categorize it, cliche sort of thing, right? Well, I know we don't like the boring, stable man, but this is the man that you should go for. Maybe she's saying it like that. But this whole our money is your money is our money, my money is my money sort of thing, and I can use that money, this and that. I just don't like that type of talk, because modern women continue to say stuff like that and distance themselves from the unit, which is a problem that men are having today. Modern women continue to distance themselves from the unit. They'll say, I'll opt into this marriage now. I'll opt into what benefits me now. But when the going gets tough and all the winds and the storms start coming, then I have the right. I reserve the right to opt out at any time. I'll be with you through the good times, but when the bad times hit, just to save face and say that I'm a good person, I might stay for a little while, but I'm going to be thinking of ways during that time to make myself look like the victim coming out of this. It's a whole PR game. It's a whole PR spin. And it's something that they're going to be talking with their girlfriends about, even their pastors, even their parents, to get their parents on their side. And really all they need is the people in that. They don't really care about public opinion as long as they have somebody to kind of fall back on. Does that make sense? As long as I have my the people around me to fall back on and they say that I'm right, then I'll put this out on social media and say, look what happened to me. I just got tired of this and I didn't feel like this. And when people start saying, that sounds stupid, that sounds weird, you will lose her for doing that. Well, they got to run back to their family and friends, go get an ice cream, sit there for 4 or 5 seconds, eating a whole can of it or a whole pint of it while being consoled. And they'll be all right the next day or next 2 or 3 days after people console them. And they'll think at that point in time, because people have consoled them, bought them flowers and some Campbell's soup and wrapped their arms around them, that they're still right in these types of situations.
I don't think men are good people. All men. I don't think they're good people. Why not? The reason for that is, for men to do things that they consider small in the flesh of cheating, you know that that's going to destroy your partner, but you do it anyway. That's not a mistake. We've watched the same story over and over again.
Yeah.
And just because I'm a woman, I'm supposed to accept your betrayal.
Right.
Because you're taking advantage of my love for you, and I'm supposed to just be the one behind you riding or dying. I'm not dying with nobody. To see girls come up to me, I'm the girl they come up to all day long crying. They tell me the most disgusting of stories that I couldn't even believe. And a lot of times men, the wrong man, will stunt your growth as a woman.
Have you ever cheated in a relationship?
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
Yeah, I've cheated.
Somebody in the comments said, you just got to let women talk. Somebody else quoted Kevin Samuels and said, you can't make this stuff up. Somebody else said, after cheating on a man, she talks like the purest soul, which is what modern women do. They black it out of their mind. It's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for you to do it. They had a reason. They had a right. They had a right. They had a right to do it. You, on the other hand, you're the scum of the earth.
Be extra safe when you're dating millennials, especially millennial men. Y'all flirt so weird. I hate talking to older men sometimes.
Why the millennials?
And I think that's why y'all be doing that weird shit.
People like, you're so beautiful. He's like, I can fall in love with you. He's a
Anyway, I say all that to say, y'all, be safe out here when it comes to dating. Stay safe.
Y'all talking about that now, but this is exactly the type of man that you be giving your time and your energy to. The exact one. Y'all on this podcast talking because y'all been entertaining dudes like that and will continue to afterwards. And it'll be a story on the podcast a little bit later on during the year. I know, I broke my own rule. Oh, sue me.
These girls are turning 18 and they're making OnlyFans. Like, they're not even trying. So we got to keep talking about this. We have to keep putting a message out here that you can be something other than a You can. Well, that's not all we're here for.
I find it interesting that we can check black men all the time, but black men can't check us. We could tell a black man he got to go to therapy. We could tell a black man he lazy, he needs to help around the house, but your black man can't get you up at 6 a.m. and be like, we doing a workout? Your black man can't say, hey, babe, when you on the phone with your family, you're gossiping a lot. And then when you get off the phone with them, it's negativity in this household. Is there a way you can participate in your family stuff that doesn't hinder our relationship? You're treating me like your sister's baby father, and it hurts me every time you get off the phone with her. Like, I don't understand. Why is it that a partnership, when it comes to betterment, is only us to them when it can't be them to us?
Sir, did you know that you could sign over your parental rights the day she started getting on with you? Do you know you can go to the courts and terminate your own parental rights, your own rights to the children? Did you know you can go to court to do that? And when you go to court and tell them, why are you terminating your rights? Because she's trying to torture me with the child. She's trying to use the child to control me. If she thinks she's going to use another human being to control me, she can have the human being. When I tell you these will flip the out, it won't be no more child support, sir. You'll be able to pick your son up. Come get your baby. You're not signing over your rights to me.
There's a girl who recently outed a Lakers player for leaving her stranded in Turks and Caicos.
Are you serious?
She tweeted, DeAndre Ayton security left me outside in the middle of nowhere in Turks and Caicos because I won't have sex with him. His attorney advised him to leave her in the middle of nowhere once she refused sex, and this is why. Once a woman refuses sex, anytime thereafter that sex occurs, that sex could be considered harassment or coercion or even by removing her and not having any further contact, there's a dividing line showing that sex was refused and sex never occurred. So is the player then guilty of not having the conversation that he expects sex from the PJ flyout?
Well, you shouldn't be going flying out if you're not thinking about you're going to have sex with this man.
Have you ever offered to fly a woman out and you didn't want to have sex with her? It's on the body.
I think that's already been established before you got flown out.
Somebody in the comments said, good for this lawyer and good for this player for following the legal advice. Normalize accepting the no and leaving it exactly at that. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. Period. Somebody else said, who the F flies out on a man's time and dime thinking he just wants to have a powwow? Girl, bye. He made the right choice because look at you now, running your mouth. And that was a woman that said that. A lot of these modern women want to get out here, play dumb, want to try to flip it on a man and get something free out of him. But these brothers got legal advice. Y'all get smart. Men take their money. They might still be dumb, but they got smart people around them. And this is what that looks like. Have fun finding your own way back to the house.
So I just wanted to say, be grateful for your baby daddies. Let me explain. I'm not talking about the ain't shit that are just not there, okay? I'm talking about the dads that are there for their kids regardless of if y'all are together or not, that are there for Thanksgivings and Christmases and school events and things like that. My son is 6 years old, and right now I'm having to explain to him why he doesn't get to have his dad and all his friends do. He misses out on dad readings and things like that at school because his dad is just not here. And I have to try to explain to a 6-year-old the circumstances of his dad's murder without telling him too much, but also explaining to him that it's not his fault and that, you know, it's just the way that life is, I guess. I don't know. It's so hard to explain to him. He's broken down at school. He's broken down with me. And I'm trying my best to explain to him that, you know, it's not anything that we could have done to prevent it or to stop it from happening. You know, don't get me wrong. Me and this nigga, we fought all the time. Okay, this nigga got on my nerves 90% of the time. But I would give anything to have him here and us argue and not get along, but him be able to see my son grow up, be here for my son, be here when my son's breaking down because he doesn't have his dad. It's really hard. So as much as these niggas get on your nerves, be grateful that they're here for Christmases and Thanksgivings, that you're not having to explain to your kids why they don't get their dad. So, you know, just count your blessings.
Women were locked up in the home by men until feminism freed them. This is the feminist myth that men had to lock women up in the home because they're afraid of feminine power. This is such a misunderstanding and disconnection from what the world used to be like, because life was really hard, not just for women, for everyone. For much of history, women stayed in the home out of pure necessity. Before electricity, washing machines, or running water, housework wasn't just about doing chores, it was survival. Hauling buckets of water, scrubbing clothes, making bread from grain that you milled yourself, sewing every piece of clothing that your family wore. These were all tasks that were absolute paramount to the family's survival. Women were doing all of this all while raising children without any modern medicine, so without antibiotics, hospitals, or vaccines. Meanwhile, it's not like the men were off to some cushy job in the boardroom. Instead, they were breaking their backs in the fields, in mines, in factories, just dealing with horrid working conditions. Or, let's be honest, dying in wars to protect their families as well as their nation. Everyone was fighting to survive. And then capitalism changed everything. The division of labor, which is one of the primary principles of capitalism, meant that people could now specialize, trade, and buy what they once had to make for themselves. This freed people up from survival work, and that freedom sparked the inventions that have built the world that we live in today. We are surrounded by these inventions. 200 years ago, I would have had to spend all my time churning butter, sewing clothes, making candles. Now I just buy them. It would have taken me 2 days to do my laundry. Now I just press a button. And that time that was spent behind survival work can now be turned into more productive work, more specialized work. The same has been true for men as well. Machines have taken over all of that back-breaking work. So infrastructure work and building things has become so much easier. And people are now free to build, to think, and to create in ways that our forebears never could. Women have had biological limitations that have also kept them in the home. And you know what? Capitalism solved that too. In 1888, the first sanitary pad was created, which made it far easier for women to leave the house during their periods without the discomfort and the worry. So women were limited in the home because of survival, because of biology, but have been liberated by human ingenuity, by our forebears conquering nature and building a safer society. We women were freed by civilization itself.
If you don't know who this is Lily Phillips. If you ever wondered what it looks like to look into the eyes of an empty soul, there it is.
Honestly, looking at this makes me want to cry for her. She doesn't look good, man. I mean, man, that's crazy. Wow. You know, just looking at, like I said, man, just looking at this, Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what's happening. But nah. The saying is, she got a pretty smile. Looked like she could be somebody's wife in a different world, but I guess she just the life that she chose, man. That's, you can't tell people what to do, and you can't force people to do stuff. They all do what they want to do, man, but you gotta understand some of the stuff that you do, it not only wears down your body, but it wears down your psyche and who you are, who you want to be. I understand you're making a lot of money, and I understand that there's a lot of men paying for your services. I'm not saying that those men are right for paying. I'm just saying, at what cost? At what cost, man? Do you want to be happy, or do you want to get money? I know you're probably saying that money makes you happy. You don't want to be broke and all that other stuff. But once again, at what cost? What point do you get to where you say, hey, maybe I ought to take a step back for my mental health's sake?
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
Trump.
Why'd you pop? That just would not work. I am a political activist. It's one of my biggest things. That's if you social media me with this name, you're going to see what I do. So there's no reason to be with someone like you.
Awesome.
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
2024?
As in last year?
No, I didn't subscribe to politics. I don't subscribe to politics. That's the illusion of choice.
And why'd you pop? That's
Damn. I respect that.
yeah. Thank you.
Why do you feel that?
It is 2024. We are under a dictatorship, and you are still out of politics at 51. Get out of my face. Thank you. Are you in therapy or willing to go?
Neither?
Never been through anything?
I don't. You want me to be tragic? You want me to have some demons or something? Thank you for doing that for me.
And why did you pop? There's nothing wrong with going to therapy and talking to someone about your problems.
Obviously, you have a lot. Ooh-wee.
Men are born protectors. They do a lot of things that even we don't even realize that they're doing. My husband and I just went to a Detroit Lions game, and we stopped at a rest area. He got done before me, and I walked out of the bathroom, and he was sitting there waiting for me. And I wouldn't think anything of it until I started thinking about this, and men are born protectors. He waited for me because it was dark. He opened the door. I went up first. I see his eyes scan the parking lot. Men are born protectors, and they want to protect you, even from things that you're not even paying attention to. Like, you could be downtown somewhere. There'd be a group of people in the distance that look a little sketchy. And without even notifying you that that's how he feels, he'll say, let's go look at this store. He's avoiding conflict. He's protecting you. Protecting you from something that you might not even realize. And it doesn't necessarily have to be protecting you from things like that. Sometimes you open your glove box, there's a phone charger in there, an extra one. He might have bought it. He might have taken your car to fill it up while you were taking a nap, so you didn't have to get gas the next day. Men are born protectors. And a lot of women don't pay attention to these things. There are a lot of men that do these things, and it's just a natural thing. So pay attention. Your man might be doing things like this, and it's second nature because, that's just who your man is.
I appreciate you saying this. This is what a lot of men are doing. This is what a lot of men do for not just their woman, but their family. Mom, even their dad. Oh, you think another man needs protection depending on his age, depending on his affliction, depending on if he's sick or not. Yeah, he would. And it doesn't matter. When you have two guys, they're both scanning. They're both looking. They're natural security for you. And you said it. You made a really great point. Even when you're not paying attention, or even if you're not paying attention, because a lot of women don't. Whether they're feminist or whether they're good women, a lot of women don't, because I just don't do that. I wouldn't even know. That's just not how my brain thinks. That's just not how my brain processes the world, and that's okay. That's not a knock. But I bring that point up to say men have inherent strengths that women don't, and I appreciate you recognize that and say, well, I wouldn't have even thought of that, but my husband does. I didn't even see that. But on reflection, on observation in my mind, I was like, oh, that's what he's doing. The same thing that y'all expect men to do, observe y'all and look at y'all and watch y'all and say, oh, That's what she's doing. Okay, let me make sure she's got X, Y, and Z. Let me make sure she got this. Let me make sure she's got that. Okay, all right. And then whatever you need, whatever you're trying to get, he gets that for you because he's paying attention to you. Do that same thing for men. Think that same way for men. That's all they're asking.
Is there a difference why men get divorced versus why women get divorced?
Women marry the man they want to spend the rest of their life with, and men marry the woman they don't want to spend the rest of their life without. When a man feels like there are no options left for this to become what it is he wanted it to be when he envisioned it, they tap out. And women, when they feel like they're already alone. My experience of women in divorce is that when they are alone and with someone, that's when they kind of go like, okay, I'm already done. That's why a lot of women, when they have affairs, it's, I think, very often the soft place to land, or it's a way to prove to themselves that it's really over. Like, I couldn't have done this if I really loved this person. Whereas a lot of men just like have affairs because they're just dumb. They're just like, it was like bright, shiny object. It's a symptom of some other thing.
Yeah, I think what he's basically saying is women and men don't really leave relationships or marriages for the same reasons. Probably because they don't enter into the marriage, the relationship for the same reasons. Women usually marry for some sort of emotional fulfillment. The man usually marry. They marry the man they want to spend the rest of their life with. I can see myself spending the rest of my life with this guy. Whereas men usually marry out of attachment. They marry the woman they feel that they can't live without, is basically what he's saying. So when things fall apart and men and women start to go their separate ways, they usually tap out differently. A lot of times men don't leave quickly, and we know this. They leave after years of trying to fix things, after they've run out of solutions, and after the marriage really stops resembling the life that they thought they were building for, right? I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I've been trying to do X, Y, and Z, but she ain't listening. She ain't going along with it. So for men, divorce is usually a surrender. It's not really a strategy like, oh, I'm going to leave her out to dry. It's just, dang, I've done all that I could in order to get this woman to be on my team. I don't have to ask the bros if they're going to be loyal. I gotta beg and plead my woman to come along on this journey with me, right? So, that's what a lot of men have to deal with.
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her fucking 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury.
We're gonna shit on the fact that it takes men to become accomplished to even be seen. Just minimizing it all because it's just so hard because we get so much attention now and we gotta filter through everything now and make sure it's right now. It's easy. Just don't be up. Look good, smell good, be nice, be fit, be feminine, and don't be up. Good to go. I go for any woman, goddamn. I don't give a damn how fat your ass is, how greasy your ass is, how skinny your ass is, how ugly your ass is, man. Bro, all you gotta do is bat your eyes and show a little bit of attention to men in general, dog. Somebody gonna bite. Shit, it's like shooting fish in the barrel for a bitch to pull a dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? In a drop of a dime, all you gotta do, post a little picture, looking for some attention on Instagram, dog. The goddamn comments gonna be comment and the likes gonna be liking, bro. You can get attention, you can get gifts, you can get money, you can get dick, you can get intimacy, you can get trips, you can get whatever you want just because your ass goddamn exists. But your ass is too spoiled and too entitled to goddamn realize the amount of access to everything you got and be sitting here trying to shit on a man's perspective. Y'all lost me. Ain't out here easy for a man.
Breakup alert. Tiana Trump, adult star, says he just pays for stuff and linked Finsta messages. Let's take a look. I don't know if this is considered leaked, but if you see above, it says, send me some content maybe. and he pays $5 to send that message. She sends back a locked video for $125. Under that, he pays $5 just to say, "Nah, just saw you got a soccer player boyfriend." What's that all about? Now, mind you, this is 2 messages for $10. He could have just condensed all of this to one message if you already simping. No disrespect. She responds back, "He just pays for stuff." And then the response from this gentleman says what he says, and he pays another $5. To pay this amount of money just to talk to a young lady is what this country is built on. I'm not trying to shame anybody for making their bread. What I will say is this, you kind of leaked yourself. Like, this isn't a private conversation. You paid to have this conversation. You are paying this woman to tell you some things. And why wouldn't she say he just pays for stuff when you also, sir, are paying for stuff? You technically her internet boyfriend as well. You let me know when she's talking to you for free. And that's a leaked message. When you talking to her without having to pay $5 to get a response each time, that's something else. Also, spoiler alert, because I clicked on this page and the video in question is just her waking up, getting her makeup, looking in the mirror saying, "Oh, my makeup is still on." $125 for that. Shout out to this brother for having it like that financially, to spend money over and over to talk to this girl. But hey, yo, man, remember talking to girls in the mall? What happened to that? What happened to that?
Oh, that's why they're saying it's leaked, I guess. Apparently he's planning on marrying her. Interesting. So that's why she's saying, oh, he's just paying for stuff. I don't know what this marriage might consist of, to be honest with you. I don't know. Be careful out there, my boy.
The whole protect my peace trend is becoming an excuse to avoid real life. People are convincing themselves that they're healing when they're really just cutting off anyone who triggers a feeling that they don't want to face. And when you avoid discomfort, your mind doesn't just calm down. It actually gets weaker. You train yourself to run from conflict, to run from accountability, and to run from anyone who doesn't agree with you. And you're not protecting your peace, you're protecting your ego and your pain. And real peace comes from learning how to stay, how to talk, how to repair, how to navigate hard moments without shutting down every connection that challenges you. And this new trend is teaching people that discomfort means danger and that anyone who upsets you is toxic. And it's the fastest way to end up alone, angry, fragile, and terrified of anything real. So if you want strength, stop hiding behind these fake peace slogans, because peace isn't created by avoiding everything that challenges you. Peace comes from emotional maturity.
I just want to be the side. That's what I was saying. Like, I just want to be the side and I just want you to chill. I don't like him enough to lay up next to him every day. I don't even know how you do it. I'm not going to start talking about him. You know, I'm not going to start talking about him, but you know the things about him. Girl, I don't know how you do it. I was just trying to play my little position. He clearly won't stop, and you know he's obsessive. Tell them how much you love your sideline or I'm going to kill myself.
How much I love what?
Your sideline. You know,
Sideline? How much I love my what? You're looking at me, bro.
I'm your sideline bitch.
Do I have...
Are the girls really trying to normalize being the side piece? Are we really celebrating being the side piece now? Since when did we start treating being chosen second like a personality trait? Like it's cute? Is this the new feminist movement? My body, my choice to be disrespected? The bar is in hell. It's crazy because where are the women who love to call somebody a pick me, pick me? If this isn't pick me, I don't know what else is. How can you, as a woman, be so desperate for a man's attention, affection, money, that you are willing to lower your self-standards, lower your self-esteem, label yourself as Pizza Hut just so a man can sneak and talk to you and come see you and send you money, do whatever it is? How is that not pick me, but somebody telling other women to love, respect, and honor their man is? Y'all are so backwards. Y'all are so delusional. I went from I want a king to I want who's ever available between 1 and 3. Make it make sense. At this point, it's looking like some of y'all don't want love. You want access. Any kind of access, even if it comes with disrespect. Apparently, y'all auditioning for who can be the most proud side chick in 2025.
My wife is not in charge in my house. I am. And she is my helper, and I'm not her helper. She doesn't wear the pants, I do. Now, because I adore my wife, I want to model the sacrificial leadership of Jesus. Jesus, recognizing that all authority in heaven and earth had been given to me, stood up, took out his outer robe, tied it around his waist, knelt down and washed his disciples' feet. That's what the biblical account is. Recognizing he had all authority, he got down and washed feet. I am in authority over my wife. It's not a 50-50. The buck stops with me. I am the head. Because of that, I'm going to use my leadership to take wonderful care of my wife. Boys, my sons, this is our woman. We're going to take care of her. She doesn't open doors. We open it for her. Our job, my job as a man, is to make sure my life is harder than hers.
That's good.
I want my life harder than hers.
Yes.
I make money. I'm going to spend more on her than me. I'm going to lift her up. I'm going to serve her. I'm built stronger so that I can use my strength for my bride. I'm going to exalt her. I'm going to do something better than 50-50 or equal. I'm going to lift her up. I'm going to treat her not as an equal. I'm going to treat her as more important. And I'm going to steer our marriage as well. I'm going to set the culture for our home. And I need her to give me her valuable insight. And sometimes we're going to disagree, and I'm going to go with what she thinks. And sometimes I'm going to go with what I think. But I'm going to use her as my helper, as my second self on mission for the Lord, because I desperately, desperately need the counsel of my wife, and I honor her in that.
Universally, that the men that he works with all say that they come last, that everybody's needs come before theirs. I'm going to tell you something. When he first told me, I was like, that's complete BS. You guys are watching golf and you're watching the game. You go to work, then you come home, you do whatever you want. That was me rejecting a truth. When I stopped myself and just said, let me just process this for a minute. Do I even know what Chris's needs are? Does he even know what they are? It struck me because I'd love for you to turn to chapter 9 in your book, because you write about the exact same thing. It's on page 139. I want you to read the first part of that so we can unpack this. And as you listen, you're either going to feel validated, or I want you to have an open mind about the truth of this.
One of the most significant obstacles preventing men from breaking free from emotional incarceration and evolving into comprehensive men is the inclination to suffer alone in silence.
Well, this is what a lot of men tell you. This is why a lot of single mothers don't get married, because a man knows he's going to be last priority. Well, you got to know, I got to take care of my child. I got to do this. I got to do that. Yeah, man. But even if we get like a dog or something like that, or it doesn't really matter, whatever it is, if you get a job, it doesn't matter. I'm going to come last. I'm going to be last in the relationship. And I'm not talking about like kind of low on the priority ladder. I'm talking about dead last. And it's not even going to be close. You're going to have top, like say we have 10 spots. There's going to be you, your child, multiple children, and we might have to space out that top 10 or that list of 10. But if you, let's say you have one child, it's you, because you always put yourself first as a modern woman. It's that child, the dog, and then there's spots in between that: work, church, friends, family, and then put a couple of rungs on that ladder between y'all, and then the man, right? It's an option. If I have enough time, or if I'm not tired, or if he does something particularly special and I'm so inclined, I'll give him a little bit of attention. I'll give him a little bit of time. I'll pay attention to him. You know, I woke up this morning and I decided to do something nice for my man today. Come with me while I spoil my man. Come with me while I cater to my man. They'll do that type of stuff. And it'd have been like 3 years. The first time in 3 years, they'd never done something like that for him. And they'll go another 10 years without doing that. And women in the comments will be like, ooh, relationship goals, couple goals.
What do you think is stopping the women of this generation from finding husbands?
Social media. But a lot of times what it is that people are trying to reach standards that don't exist. And they are so deeply involved and invested in the art of comparison that they lack the time and energy to be able to know oneself and their partner. They're so busy trying to create somebody to be something that it doesn't even really exist a lot of times. And so what I've learned is like, even being a person who is on social media and I enjoy it, like I just take that shit with a grain of salt for real. But every single thing that we do a lot of times is gauged off social media now, and I think people have lost the essence of just existing. Like just being cool. Like it's an excellent tool. You can definitely make money, you can definitely build a brand. I'm trying to learn how to do that now. But from a social relationship standpoint, like it's so mediocre.
This is the question we should all be asking. If Stand With Meg were a man, what would y'all be saying? Because right now, what I have is women that have come into my comment section to defend her and say that it was just a mom that was trying to find something to help alleviate their child's anxiety. It was a mom just trying to bond with their child. But if we found out that a man had 5 substantiated claims of emotional against all 5 of his children, and then audio evidence of that man doing HHC and THC with their child, the world would be calling him a father. The world would be screaming to take the children from that father. But yet, because it's Stand With Meg, and she's a pretty package, and she's all put together, and she cries on the internet, the world has empathy and said it was just a mom doing her best. She was trying to help with her anxiety. She was trying to bond with her child. We don't hold that empathy for men. We look at it for men differently than we look at it from women. We want to string men up and take their children and call them a deadbeat dad. But when it's a woman, it was just the best she could do. No, we should be judging men and women when they make parenting decisions exactly the same. Because whether or not it's a mother or a father doing drugs with their children, it still has the same impact on the children. Whether it's a mother or a father emotionally their children, it still has the same impact on the children. So if a father sat on this app and said he was doing HHC with his child, y'all would want him kicked out of any parenting space. But you'll stand here and support Stand With Meg, who's screaming corruption in the family court, when the only thing corrupt about that decision is it didn't happen sooner.
Guys, I have to speak my truth. I never want to live with a man. Ever. I don't ever want to do it. Not if we're in a relationship, not if we're engaged, not if we're married. I don't want to do it. It just sounds like an overstimulating nightmare.
He didn't give the booty a rub before he left. He don't like you. We always give the booty a goodbye rub. The lack of this shows that my husband respects me because he knew he was being filmed. I only film a small amount of our life. I don't film a lot because of this reason. I want my husband to be himself with me, and not everything has to be on the internet. This isn't an OF page. And if he did do that, I would have blocked it out and or cut it because I respect my husband, and the only person that needs to see that is my husband. Don't be mistaken, my husband touches me a lot and often. He definitely likes me. From the looks of it, you probably are new here, and that's fine. Not everything has to be a public display. We try to keep it as PG as possible, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But most of the time, it's out of respect. Hope that helps.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but doing OnlyFans is some pretty low IQ behavior.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but when it comes to women, men should really just shut that.
I didn't think my haters look like this. The stereotypes are so real. Goodness, this is freaking awesome.
Gift ideas for your man, especially if he's a nerd. Instead of buying him that sweater that he don't want, here's a list of gifts that he might actually use. Now let's start here. It don't gotta be DBZ, but maybe he need a new spinning night bag. This joint is kind of fire. Come on, can we get into the details? Baby, he gonna take this to the gym, work, boys' night, everywhere. Okay, now hear me out. Does he need another hoodie? No. Are you going to steal it? Yes. But he's gonna love it because, what's his is yours and maybe mine. Next thing. Does he lift, sis? If so, why not get him a belt that makes him feel like Guts is pushing through trauma with him on the scrub rack? And if your man like fake swords, real swords, the spirit of swords, upgrade his wall. Or just get him some model sets if that's his thing. This is very interchangeable with Legos. Good ideas nonetheless. Other ideas that'll also work: tires, projector set, Carhartt gear, oil change, tires, or just buy him tickets to that con you know he want to go to. Shopping for your man don't gotta be confusing. Just act like you like him. If he's a nerd, don't just buy him socks. Buy him joy. Part 2 coming soon. Drop his favorite things and I'll add some more gift ideas because 'tis the season. Follow me for more.
I do social media, just posting on Instagram and socials.
Do you do?
No. No. Oh, why would you say such a thing? Oh my God. I would promote it if I did it.
You don't want to just say that it's like out there, and I don't know why you're playing a game with it.
I don't do.
Have you ever done? How about that?
No. I'm just an AI robot, and I came here to show you all that you can have a conversation with a robot too. I mean, you don't have to be human to have a conversation with me.
Did you do any or anything before the show, or your voice seems a bit peculiar?
No, I didn't do any.
It's like on 0.5 speed.
Because I told you I'm an AI robot. You don't believe me? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not a robot. I just wanted to show how easy it is to fool people. I'm not. Everything you see on TV isn't true, I don't think.
Yeah, that's why they was laughing at the beginning of the video, man. She weird, man. She's, you know, it might not even be weird. It might just be that she's trolling Brian right now.
But I'm gonna tell you also, where as men we could be protectors too. You know how I talked about a woman would destroy a good man on his way out? As men on protectors, we don't destroy the woman. Like, we don't. Like, that's the protector in. The protector in me is, you did so much nuts to me. You did so much up lying, manipulative, deceptive, narcissist, all these crazy topics that's trending and whatever the case may be. And I would never talk about this because at the end of the day, I'm still a protector. Even if you're in a relationship with your woman, she can do all of, you married, she can do all the nutty in the world. You never gonna put her in a predicament to where as though you make her character look up. That's why it's easy for them to get looked at innocently, because as a protector, it's like, I'm not about to make, because at the end of the day, we feel like it still falls back on us. Because it still was my decision to be with you that led me to this predicament. So I can't get out of it and try to make it like you just the person, because it's like, well, why you with her? So it's like, I gotta either try to do character management and help you better yourself, or I gotta leave you. Then when I leave you, I get looked at like the nut. So it's really like a funny ass cycle, but ultimately, you know, that's just what come with being a man.
When you slam a price tag with your pum pum, don't get mad if the price you low. Don't get mad. Because why are you angry your buyer doesn't have money to patronize your pum pum? Like, does that sound logical? You're angry with the buyer for not having money to patronize the pum pum with your high price tag. Like, how? Are you that selling the pum pum? Why are you not going on sales? You should once in a while go on sales. Let's try go on sales. 50% off, 7% off, 20%. Like, can't you go on sales? At least to reach a wider audience so everybody can patronize you. You don't want to patronize? You don't want that anymore? Why? Sorry, sir. I'm very sorry. I'm a very peaceful person. I really don't find trouble and all that. And I'm sorry you find this video triggering. Very, very sorry. Thank you.